Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have here an article that I think exemplifies the moves behind the scenes and identifies the who's who and what's what. And as I stated on numerous videos, we have Ukraine here, you have right here, you have United States here, and in between somewhere here there is the European Union and other vassal states of the United States. So we have here a very interesting meeting that occurred between European leaders, or at least politicians and or diplomats, and the Ukrainian diplomats, and it occurred here, at least in Yalta, they say. And the Europeans asked, some Europeans asked Zelensky, and not only Zelensky, through their diplomats, they asked to go and negotiate with Putin. And it was also something that I hinted that I think that was why certain politicians came to Zelensky in the past week or so. Anyway, I don't think it was the invasion, the counteroffensive. But let's see, they didn't discuss that, I guess. Ukrainska Pravda claims on September 10th, 2022, that Yalta, European Strategy Forum, Defense Minister Reznikov, one of the three guys in the Trinity of Ukraine, Reznikov, Zhmyhal, and Zelensky, answer Western partners about terms of negotiations with Russia. Why would they tell these guys that? Why would be the negotiation terms discussed now when Ukraine actually, according to the mass media, is winning? And the key word is according to. So Kiev is not accepting Western partners' recommendations to start peace talks with the Russian Federation and demands a complete end to the occupation of Donbass and Crimea. So let me repeat. Kiev is not accepting Western partners' recommendations to start peace talks with Russian Federation. Do you think those were recommendations? I don't think so. European Pravda reports this in the article Yalta Forum is closed. Negotiations with Russia currently impossible, end quote, covering the Yalta European Strategy Forum, in parentheses, yes, Y-E-S, which was secretly held in Kiev. We all knew it, but we were not certain that it was a meeting, but, you know. It says, EP found out that the other day during a visit to Kiev, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has conveyed Joe Biden's message about the need to start negotiations with Putin. Did you hear that? So Blinken, when he came to Kiev 3 days ago, 4 days ago, he told Zelensky, gave him a message from Joe Biden about the need to start negotiations with Putin. Remember that Zelensky and the Russians are here. Zelensky and Biden spoke about 5 days ago, and before that it was about 3 or 4 months they didn't speak at all. That was when it was a fallout between the two, when they both accused one another. Biden accused Zelensky that Zelensky did not listen and did not believe that Russia will invade before the February 24th, and Zelensky basically calls Biden a liar. So then Biden said, shuffled out of the room and said bye-bye on the phone, and no more talking. And when they talked about 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 5 days ago, something like that, I said something major happens, and I'm assuming is end the war, boy. This is what it is. What happens when you have someone on the payroll like this, and that person doesn't follow orders anymore? Well, we know what that happens. You just remove it, and that's it. If you can't convince it, You can't be on your own when we are the ones who supported you, triggered you, pushed you in the situation. You gotta go, get going. It's not you, when you want to get out, you're gonna get out. It doesn't work that way. Now, I was when I was reading about the Manchurian Candidate, that the research done on that by CIA. CIA tried to. They were thinking about using the various leaders that would fit a certain kind of character in order to work on that person and turn that person into a Manchurian Candidate. And they were thinking of Fidel Castro of Cuba. And the reason why they said that they stopped trying that was they didn't even start with that one, but they stopped considering that was because they said, well, you get him under your under your control, but then that person could very easily turn against you if under the Manchurian Candidate research and all that theory, however you want to call it. And then that's probably the same thing with this guy here. He's not Manchurian Candidate, Zelensky and all those guys. I'm just talking that you lose control and they will turn around and be something that you got them already. So they will have your weapons and they are what they are. They will not follow your orders. They will be, in order to do what I think these guys are doing in the name of other interests, outside interests, I'm talking about the leadership of Ukraine, you gotta be of a certain character. You say, well, Emil, you talk about the human nature. That's true, it's human nature. But I don't think Zelensky's arm was turned around his back and said, you gotta do this. And I don't think his whole existence depended on that. So that was a voluntary decision and not he was not constrained by some weapons or blackmail or something. He wanted to do that. So it's a different kind of agreeing with the circumstances. He was not pushed into being there and doing and waging war, defending Ukraine from the Russian criminals. You know what I mean? So for him, you have to have a character to do that. To choose doing that. And then you easily can turn around and have another master because you had one, you can have another one. Or you can decide, I don't have to have another master. So what's interesting here is that the Europeans and the Americans tell them, stop. Here we have several Ukrainian officials publicly denied such a possibility during the Yes Forum, although they refused to say which of the partners gave these recommendations. And I'm quoting, we have learned a lot during the war, including learning not to trust any offers of peace talks proposed to us by our partners. Did you hear that? They say, we do what we want. Well, you're not on your own, but you're going to find out in the wrong way. You're going to find out that. So we have learned a lot and learned not to trust any offers of peace talks proposed to us by our partners. Ukrainian Defense Minister Reznikov, the Trinity, said. Reznikov also clarified Ukraine's position on the conditions for starting negotiations with the Russian Federation, adding that this was a new position. Kiev will no longer agree to the terms that Kiev themselves offered to the Russian earlier. And I quote, I will reveal a secret. Oh my God. At the negotiations in Belarus and Istanbul, we told the Russian, in order to continue the talks and come to agreements, you must withdraw from the troops that enter Ukraine after 23 February. It was possible then, but now they have crossed more than one point of no return, and such an opinion has no longer been possible for a while, he declared. So that means it's going to be war, and we like it the way it is, and that's it. That's not even, and believe me, you're going to liberate people that you don't want to be liberated, and then you're going to do what Stalin did with certain individuals, and when the front moved westwards after the Germans were pushed back by the Soviet army. Entire populations of towns and cities went with the front back with the German army towards Germany because they were collaborators. They cheered when the other guys came. So here, what do you think is going to happen? And the one's going to stay is going to happen what the Soviets did to the Ukrainians when the front moved. They're going to take care of them. They're going to call you're a collaborator, you. I have relatives that fled. I have relatives that stayed. And I read some little books about that kind of situation that was then in the Second World War. So it's going to be the same thing. Now, Kiev demands a complete end to the occupation of Donbass and Crimea. The options after of the 24th February no longer exist. It must be as of December 1st, 1991. Ukraine's international recognized state borders go out, concluded Reznikov. Reznikov used English when said the words go out. Yeah, of course. So the thing is, the taste of, it's like they say, once a bear starts eating man or attacking man, is going to get the taste of human flesh, and it's going to be a man killer, not a people killer. It's going to be a man killer. So this, when you get involved in this, and you might start liking the situation, and you don't want to stop. But I know what's going to happen with these guys if they will not follow the orders of the Americans. They will disappear. They will just be arrested. They will going to find out they are pedophiles or something, and in the name of that, they will be taken care of. That, interesting enough, I can talk about this 3 hours because it's very important. So the Europeans and the Americans allegedly here told the Ukrainians, you need to go and talk. You need, that's the word. Yes, you need, and the other ones recommended to talk to Putin and discuss peace, and they said no. So this is where they don't follow orders, or it's just a game here. I ask you people here, but then you say no. Okay, all right. Hey, I recommend you go and talk to Putin. No, and everybody's like, oh, look at that. Okay, thank you very much. Very good. Well, good done. And we continue. We keep doing what we've been doing. Well, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.